backstage at Izod Arena. It's only the second night of the American Carnage tour. How's the tour going so far?
Excellent. Everything's going great. Had some great couple shows. Well, one show. Tonight's going to be the second. But we've had shows in Canada, and we've had shows in Australia with Megadeth, so it's been going really good.
Does it take a while to get into the swing of things when the tour kicks off?
Well, if you haven't been on tour for a while, yeah, you get kind of, you have to get kind of used to it again.
Like, is the set list changing?
We're doing the Seasons in the Abyss record, plus World Painted Blood and Hate Worldwide. And of course, actually we've added Aggressive Perfector, which is the first song that we've recorded when we first got together.
That's great, actually. So once you kind of have the rhythm down, it's just going out there, you do your thing?
Yeah, once you get the parts down, the sections, yeah. And then it's all about energy.
We're in New Jersey right now, and I just watched you guys perform on Jimmy Fallon in Manhattan a couple of nights ago. When you were in the city, did you have any time to hang out, check things?
I just walked around a little bit, went down to the park, and I think we stayed up on by 54th and 7th. And, took a nice walk to the park and walked around a little bit, just enjoyed the city because I haven't been there in such a long time. So I really enjoyed myself. So I didn't have much time to do anything. Just hung out at the bar after the show and had some drinks and on to the next show. On to Glen Falls like we did.
Do you have any favorite parts of New York City? Any particular?
The city? I like Soho. I mean, all of it's great. I mean, everywhere you could find something interesting or a restaurant or a club or something to hang out at. It's great.
Let's talk a little bit about this American Carnage tour. Who said, all right, let's just get Megadeth and Slayer and just let it rip?
I don't know. I really honestly don't know.
We
just get approached, with the idea. Are we into it? It's either a yay or nay, and this was obviously a yay.
How do you decide who plays first and who plays second?
Not too many people want to play after Slayer. So it just goes without saying.
Well, I remember I watched you guys a couple of years back on the Marilyn Manson tour, and I think Manson closed that one, right?
Yeah.
And now he said, I want to close, and you guys said, knock yourself out?
Yeah, go ahead.
How was that tour? Because I remember being...
Excellent. I loved it. It's probably... It'll go down in history as being, in my book, as being one of the greatest tours I've ever done. I had a fucking blast.
So on this tour, you guys are doing Seasons in the Abyss straight through.
Yes.
Is that something you just said, let's do this, or is this kind of to respond to Megadeth doing Rust in Peace?
No, it wasn't a response to Megadeth. It was, I don't think it was a response to Megadeth. It was just management suggested it, and maybe it was Megadeth's response to the fact that we were doing Seasons. We never know. So, it doesn't matter who did it first or whatever response. Just do it.
Do you have any particular favorite moments on that album? Maybe a particular drum fill or a breakdown?
The newest record, yeah. I really like World Painted Blood, the title. I really like Public Display of Dismemberment. I like Beauty Through Order. Actually the whole album I love.
Well, talking about the new record, when you're recording it, does Slayer ever come up with a song and say, this isn't really heavy enough, let's scrap this and try something else?
Not really that it's not heavy enough, because anything Slayer works on is heavy. It's more like maybe it just wasn't finished, or it just didn't have that magic to make it.
You're playing Seasons of the Abyss in the entirety, and then you have the World Painted Blood album now. Every new record you guys put out, and you guys are consistent on it. I know you've been off a couple of records,
Yeah.
but Slayer's discography is immense. Every new album, how do you decide what songs you have to drop from the live set list to make room for the new ones?
Carrie takes care of all that, because it has to do with tuning and the guitars and everything. It's difficult to choose from so many albums, what songs to keep and what songs to not use. You probably can't make every fan happy, but we try to do our best, and we have to keep the classics in there. The Rain and Blood, the South of Heaven, the Angel of Death, War Ensemble. You got to put those in there. Plus add the other guys.
So, was it weird for you to relearn kind of Seasons of the Abyss for this tour?
Yeah, we had well, not really problems, but we really had to do some homework when it came to the song Temptation, because the last time we ever performed it was live. I mean, not live, but in the studio, and then we had to relearn it to perform live.
Now, Temptation's interesting because there's two
Vocals.
Right. So how's that going to work tonight?
He does the first one. It just doesn't do the second one. Yeah. Because that was like a production mistake almost. Come on in.
I think that's our time up. 12 minutes.
Okay.
Right, that was a production mistake originally. Right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, they left the mute buttons. They recorded the song, one track one way, and then the vocal another way, and then they left them both up, and it was kind of cool the way it sounded, like an echo of some sort, but it wasn't. So we kept it.
And no one wants to try to do backup vocals?
Oh, hell no. No, Slayer's not about that.
Not that kind of band, right?
Yeah.
This tour today is coming right after the summer's Big Four tour with Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, Megadeth, which is metal history in the making. There was a Big Four jam also in Bulgaria. You were the only guy who came out and played on that. Where was everyone else?
They were in the back. They didn't want to take part. They're not ones to do things like that. I am. I like jamming with other musicians, performing with other musicians. But they really don't like that.
I was just talking with Dave Ellefson about an hour ago and asked him a similar question. What was it like having multiple drummers, multiple bassists? Was it weird locking in to everyone?
In those situations, you don't worry about that. Super locking in. First of all, it's not a recording. Second of all, it's a live jam. All I did was just make sure I was on beat. I just hit things. And everybody just tried to follow the beat and the drums. And yeah, of course, it became like a wall of sound, a wall of noise, but for the most part, it's all about the moment and the fun that we were having up there, not really about the technicality of how, perfect you can be.
So a couple of years ago, fans started National Slayer Day, which I guess was on June 6, 2006, so the 666. And it's kind of, every year it grows a little bigger. It's this International Day of Slayer. Everyone drives around, blasts Slayer all day, listens to it as loud as possible. Do you guys have any input on that?
No.
How do you feel about it?
It's great. It's a monster that's taken its course. It's going on its own. I think it's kind of cool.
Do you feel that metal really should have a National Day of recognition?
I don't see why it wouldn't, or it couldn't. It's been around long enough. I don't see disco having a day of, International Day of Slayer or something. Yeah, why not?
And obviously, I'm sure you guys are honored that Slayer of all the metal bands out there are picked as kind of the figurehead of metal.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
What do you think that says about either the band or the fans? That's the band that's synonymous.
Well, I don't see any other band that's been around. I mean, aside from Metallica, it's been around as long as we have and stayed true to metal roots, you know, like we did.